What if your cat sleeping next to you isn't random at all? Not just because your bed is warm, not just because it's comfortable, but because in their own way, they picked you. And here's the weird part. Most cat owners completely miss this. They see it as a habit or something cute. But for a cat, sleeping next to someone is actually a big deal. And if your cat does this regularly, there's more going on than you think. 1, it's not about warmth. Let's start with the obvious explanation. Cats just like warm places. That's true, but it's not the full story. Because if warmth was the only reason, your cat wouldn't need you. They already have options. Sunny windows, heated vents, laundry fresh out of the dryer, even your laptop, which, let's be honest, they love more than your work. So here's the question. Why leave all of that just to come sleep next to you, especially at night, when the whole house is quiet and they could go anywhere? This is where it gets interesting, because at that point, it's not about warmth anymore. 2, sleeping is a vulnerable state. Here's something people don't always think about. For a cat, sleep is risky. Even indoor cats still carry the instincts of wild animals when they sleep. They're less aware, slower to react, more exposed. That's why cats usually look for safe, hidden spots. Under beds, inside closets, high places where they can see everything. So when your cat chooses to sleep out in the open, right next to you, that's not nothing. It means they feel safe enough to let their guard down. And for a cat, that level of trust doesn't happen easily. It's built over time. So if your cat curls up beside you at night, you've earned that. But here's something most people don't realize. The way your cat sleeps next to you can actually tell you how much they trust you. 3, their sleep position matters. Pay attention to this tonight, because your cat's position says a lot. If they sleep curled up in a tight ball, that's a protective posture. It means they're comfortable being near you, but still keeping themselves guarded. Totally normal. Now, if your cat stretches out or exposes their belly, that's different. That's a relaxed cat. A cat that feels safe enough to fully let go. And then there's this one, when your cat turns their back to you. A lot of people think it's rude. It's actually the opposite. In cat behavior, turning your back means, I don't feel the need to watch you, which is a pretty strong statement. And if your cat presses up against you, that's not just about comfort. That's closeness. Cats don't do that with just anyone. 4, scent and familiarity. Now let's talk about something a little less obvious. Scent. Cats rely heavily on smell to understand their environment. It's how they recognize what's safe and what isn't. You've probably seen your cat rub their head against you or brush up along your legs. That's called scent marking. They're leaving their scent on you. But when your cat sleeps next to you, something else happens. Your scent and their scent start to mix. Over time, you become familiar in a deeper way. To your cat, you don't just smell like a human anymore. You smell like part of their space, part of their routine, part of what feels normal. And animals stick close to what feels familiar. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Your cat might not just be sleeping next to you. They might actually think they're doing something for you. 5, a bit of instinct kicks in. Even the most relaxed house cat still has instincts. They're wired to be aware of their surroundings, to notice movement, to react to unusual sounds. So when your cat chooses a spot near you while you sleep, part of that is strategic. Some cats sleep near your head, others at your feet. Some stay pressed along your side. These positions aren't random. They give your cat awareness of the room while staying close to you. Now, are they actively protecting you? Not in a heroic movie style way, but instinctively, they're placing themselves in a position where they can respond if something feels off. It's subtle, but it's there. 6, they adapt to your routine. Here's another thing most people overlook. Cats are naturally more active at dawn and dusk. That's when they hunt. That's their internal clock. So technically, your cat's schedule shouldn't match yours. But over time, it often does. If you go to bed at a certain hour, your cat starts settling down around the same time. If you wake up early, they adjust. Not perfectly, but noticeably. Why? Because routine matters to cats. And if they're bonded to you, they start syncing parts of their behavior with yours. Sleeping next to you becomes part of that shared routine. It's predictable. And for cats, predictable equals safe. 7, they pick up on how you feel. Have you ever noticed your cat seems extra close when you're not feeling great? Maybe you're stressed, tired, or just having a rough day. And suddenly, your cat is right there, closer than usual. That's not your imagination. Cats are very good at picking up subtle changes. Your movement, your tone, even your energy levels. They don't understand your thoughts, but they recognize patterns. So when something feels different, they adjust. Sometimes that means giving space, but other times it means staying close. And if your cat chooses to sleep next to you during those moments, that's worth noticing. 8, when they stop, pay attention. Now let's go back to something important. What if your cat used to sleep next to you, but suddenly stops? This is where you want to pay attention, because cats are creatures of habit. They don't usually change routines without a reason. Sometimes it's physical. They might not be feeling well, or something is making them uncomfortable. Other times, it's environmental. A new pet, a new person, even rearranged furniture can throw them off. And sometimes it's stress. Something may have made them feel less secure. So instead of sleeping out in the open, they go back to hiding. It doesn't mean they don't like you anymore. It usually means something changed. And they're adjusting. So if you notice that shift, observe before assuming. At the end of the day, your cat has options, plenty of them. Places that are warm, quiet, hidden. But when they walk past all of that and settle down next to you instead, the choice matters. It's not dramatic. It's not exaggerated. But for a cat, it's significant. It means they're comfortable. It means they feel safe. And it means being near you has become part of what feels right to them. But here's something a lot of cat owners wonder. Why do some cats never sleep next to their owners, even when everything seems fine? No stress, no changes. They just keep their distance. Is it personality, past experience, or something you might be missing? Because sometimes what your cat doesn't do can tell you just as much as what they do.